My name is Erika Murphy, and I've been clean and sober since May 21st, 2016. Being a mother now, I have 3 children. They are 10, 7, and 5. There's nothing more that I like than going home and being able to sit down and do spelling words and fight with them all night about doing those spelling words. My son, who's the oldest, he is really into basketball, and I have no clue about the Warriors, but he'll tell me everything about their stats. And you know, my daughter, I have every LOL that you can imagine. I know nothing about them, but I know they cause a lot of mess when you have to unwrap them. And my youngest, she's into American Girl dolls, and you know, she talks a mile a minute and she has to tell you about everything, but she's constantly worried about everything at the same time. They're all 3 blonde-haired, blue-eyed, beautiful children with huge personalities, like I said, and you know, I wouldn't trade them in for the world. Mother's Day didn't exist. I avoided it. I didn't want anything to do with the holiday because that was a day that I had to look at the fact that I didn't have my children, the fact that nobody was calling me to tell me Happy Mother's Day, because that was the day that people would text me and say, well, maybe you would get a Mother's Day present if you were there for your children. Why don't you grow up and stop using drugs and be there for your children? That was hard for me because that was the day that people really came down on me, which in return just made me continue to use more, try to push everything, those emotions and those feelings that I was having, try to push them away. And the only way that I knew how, continue to use and use more. I've been asked multiple times in the past what being a mother in active addiction is like. I didn't have the answer for that because I lost my children at birth. After that, I didn't want to be a mother. You know, I didn't feel that I was worthy of being a mother, and I did everything possible to make sure that I didn't have to be their mother. So I didn't really have an answer to that, but when my 5-year-old was born, I had to be a mother because I did have custody of her, because I fought to be able to have custody of her. But once again, I fell down the same path. You know, I did everything that I thought was right at the time, but I had a disease. My children didn't matter, family didn't matter, nothing mattered. Getting that next one was the only thing that did matter. And I did love my children. To other people, I probably didn't. But in my own way, I loved my children as much as I possibly could or knew how. They didn't have Christmases, they didn't have birthday presents from me because that wasn't the priority. So being a mother in active addiction, I wasn't there for them. But the choice that I made was to leave them with somebody that was able to take care of them. So that's what being a mother in active addiction for me was. And for a lot of people, maybe that wasn't right, but my kids were taken care of. So I decided to get help at Recovery Unplugged because I had been to other treatment facilities. They hadn't worked for me. They didn't interest me. I had done the traditional approach, and somebody had come to me and said, look, this is, where you need to go. Honestly, they told me it was a different approach, it used music. I'm definitely not a musician. Can't even name the songs that are on the radio, but I can relate to words. So I said, let me give this a shot. Let me see if I can do something different. I remember, when I was getting clean, my main focus, and anybody that got clean with me, I always said, I'm gonna get my kids back. That's my main goal. I worked 80 hours a week. I went to meetings at 6:30 in the morning. I did everything possible so that I could make sure that I could get my kids back. I didn't achieve the goal of getting my kids down to where I live now until I was 3 years sober, and I don't regret that. People would look down on me and they would say, why aren't you trying to get your kids back? Now, at almost 4 years sober and having 2 out of 3 of my kids back. Not all 3 of them, because this is a process. And that's when I tell everybody, it's a process. I destroyed my life because of my choices, and I've been working to build it back together. And I tell people that, now that I have them back, I don't think I could have done it at a year clean. I have been told by my 10-year-old son, you can't tell me what to do because you weren't there for 9 years. At a year clean, I don't think I could have handled that. I've, threw him a birthday party a week or so ago, and he told me, thanks for my first birthday party ever. Things like that, yeah, it makes you feel okay, but it also stings. fighting about homework every night, trying to drag kids out of bed before you have to get ready for work and fight traffic and, all our everyday stresses, plus on top of that, because you've never been a mother before and you're jumping into it full force with children that are already established to another lifestyle that you just brought them down to a brand new one. It's not easy. And they let you know it too. Being a mother in recovery is a gift. It was the drive that has kept me here today. One of the biggest things that I say is that if I wasn't a mother while in recovery, I wouldn't be sitting here today. It is the thing that drove me to get clean. With my kids, I get to be able to celebrate, Christmas, and I get to see them. I get to be a part of their lives. I get to have birthday parties with them. I get to show up to parent-teacher conference and find out what my kids are doing wrong. I get to just be there. I get to buy them things. I don't care if my bank account is, on zero, but my kids have everything that they want now, and it's not because I'm spending my money on drugs anymore. Mother's Day now is something that I look forward to because I get to spend it with my kids. It's not about they're gonna get me presents or anything like that, but I get to see and have that relationship with my children that I, 4 years ago, thought was never possible. 4 years ago, I was told was never possible. The court systems told me was never possible. Everybody around me told me that I was hopeless. And I have proved everybody wrong and continue to work hard so that I would be able to have that relationship with my children and continue to build that relationship. Because being away from your kids for any period of time is going to take time to rebuild that relationship, but it is possible. Hearing what happened to DeAnna's mother felt very real. That could have been me on multiple occasions. I was actually telling DeAnna while she was doing my makeup that my son just wrote a story for school 3 weeks ago saying, thank you that my mom's drug-free now. He's happy. He said that I would be so sad if my mom wasn't here. This is real. I think that it didn't affect them like that, or maybe I just try to block it out. It's real, and hearing that, it touches you, and I wish that I would have seen it then and what I was causing. DeAnna doing my makeover today made me feel special. I haven't felt special in a long time. My days consist of going to work, paying bills, being a mom, and before that it was, finding the next one. And I wouldn't trade my life now and working all the time and taking care of my kids, but to have somebody take their time and do something like that for you when you don't have that ever means the world to me, because it's not a lot of time that even women take the time out of their day to do something and actually want to do it. And that means a lot to me personally. So thank you, DeAnna. If you are a child that's living with a parent that is struggling with substance abuse or alcoholism, tell somebody, reach out for help. It's only going to get worse. Please, please reach out for help and get help for yourself too. You deserve a better life. And for any of the mothers that are out there and you're struggling, do this for yourself first and foremost, because you deserve this, and you're never going to be able to be a good mother until you can work on yourself. But just try and get the help that you need and continue to try. If you fail, pick yourself up and continue to try, because you will be able to do it and you will be a good mother. I'm a product of this, and I failed plenty of times before I got it.